Well, you talked about how your kids are saying that Trump might deport you.
Yeah, they're funny. My kids, they're very comedic, you know. They're like, oh, Trump is president. I know you like him, but he's about to send you back to your country. I said, listen, kids, okay, when I gave birth to you guys, when you guys were born, I was undocumented, okay? So guess what? We all getting deported. He said, Dad, whatever.
Right. You also said that you got a new haircut to look as American as possible.
Hey, man.
During the ICE raids.
You said doing what?
During the ICE.
Oh, yeah,
the ICE
man.
raids. Yeah.
Hey, and the thing about it, you know, and I'm sure I'm not most Mexicans or whoever they are, they're making themselves look as American as possible.
Right.
Because they're pretty much judging a book by its cover. You know, if you put up somebody, and I'm not sure how ICE is working. I mean, they haven't popped up to my house yet, or I haven't seen them in person. I just keep watching them on IG, popping up in places, and Mexicans jumping in different places and blending in to the walls or whatever they're working at. But I have not, you know, I mean, I was just being funny, but I'm pretty sure it's happening where people are altering their looks and talking as American as possible.
Bleaching their hair blonde or red.
Lose your accent. They're coming for you. And, I had to get rid of my African accent. I don't want to be questioned or bothered. They pull up, they're like, hey, where's your green card? I said, listen, man, I'm from Philly, man. You know what I mean? Man, you better go ahead. You tripping, dog. I'm Philly. I bet. That's what's up.
So can you do a full-blown American accent?
To the best of my knowledge. You know, this whole thing went down with Cat calling my accent fake. I said, you know, my American accent is the one that's fake. When I'm talking American, it's me just trying to talk like an American so people can understand me easier. And, you know, but my African accent would never leave me. It's like, it's a language, like the British guys, you know, Idris Elba. When he talks regular, that's him just trying to talk American. His native tongue is the cup of tea, the British English tea drinking English that he speak, you know, but I think I could, you know, I'm not sure how long, because the longer I talk, the more the accent keeps coming in, whether I want to or not, you know, so whatever it is that you came to this country with will almost never leave you, not unless you come as a baby.
Right, well, I came over when I was 4.
See, right.
So I don't think I have a Russian accent when I speak, do I?
No.
I sound straight American.
You sound straight American.
Okay, so can you do a full-blown American accent, like an Idris Elba on The Wire American accent?
I mean, so this whole time, there's not an American accent?
I could hear a little bit of it. But then again, I'm an immigrant, so
I guess
I'm key.
I can't.
I guess you can't.
Damn.
Well, but you know, when I had Donnell Rawlings on here like 10 months ago, he actually said that your accent is fake and that it comes out like when you're at the bank and stuff like that. Did you ever see that clip?
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
When it comes when I go to the bank.
Yo, Michael Blackson does have a fake African accent.
No, he does not.
What?
I just interviewed him, and I hung out with him afterwards. He may accentuate it maybe in certain skits.
You know what you want to hear is?
So you're saying he's from Africa. He just became a U.S. citizen.
Mike, and no disrespect, man, fuck that. I'm just saying this. Mike, you know why you never seen him without his African accent? Because you never talked to him about money.
What?
Talk to him about his money.
And nigga would come out.
I seen him go back to his motherfucking Philly voice. Motherfucker don't get right with his money. He not gonna be like, where's my money, motherfucker? He gonna be like, yo, nigga, where the fuck is my money? Oh, man. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that one alone, son. The fact that you gotta talk to Mike about some money.
So Donnell Rawlings says you have a fake accent too. Until some money comes around.
Hey man, when it comes to my money, maybe my Philly accent might come out more, you know. But talking about Donnell, I actually performed with him last night, and I'm glad I went on before him because I got to the Laugh Factory and I saw the lineup and they had me last, like going on last, you know. I said, hey, listen, man, Donnell is one of those guys that go on stage that don't know when to get off. Because of that, put me on before him. You know, I went on before him, did my thing, hit him hard, 20 minutes, done. You know, Donnell probably went on after me, probably did 45 minutes. Mind you that on a Sunday night it's like 5 different headliners come through. We all supposed to do 15, 20 minutes if they don't light you up. 45 minutes. Now the last 20 minutes was a part that was so annoying. So he has a problem with Corey Holcomb.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big problem with Corey Holcomb. And I think recently Corey Holcomb said something about Dave. Corey Holcomb said something about Dave bombing in some show.
Mm-hmm.
And and Donnell was defending Dave because, Dave is his guy. And I mean, and one of my guys, my boy Kojo said something. He said, Mike, there's nothing like having somebody to just have your back, especially when you don't want to reply to these dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to have somebody that, like, and of course, I mean, Dave is feeding the guy. So, of course, as he should defend
Dave
him.
just put him on Saturday Night Live again.
He did.
Just recently, yeah.
So Dave is like, Dave did help his career a lot.
Of course.
And Donnell also has to thank me for helping his career as well.
How so?
This is how it happened. Def Jam, 1994 maybe. All right, we taping Def Comedy Jam. Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam in New York. It was just after Martin. I think Martin was done hosting it because Martin went on to do movies and a bunch of things. So then they were having, they had like Joe Torre hosted that year. Right, Joe was one of the hottest guy. He just came out of the movie Poetic Justice, one of the hot comedians back then. So Joe was the host. And on Def Jam, when you tape the show back then in 1994, they would tape 5 comics, and one of them definitely not gonna make the cut. Definitely not gonna make the cut. They just tape 5. They tape 5, and they take the best out of the 5. They take the best 4 out of the 5. It was me, Monique was on the show, and Donnell. I'm not sure who the other 2 was. I don't remember. So I used to go on stage, and I used to go on stage back then back then we talking about it, I was a new comic, really hyped. I just started going to New York a lot because New York, one thing about New York would bring the best out of you. So you go to New York to perform, and New York will let you know if you're really funny or not. So even though Philly was cool, but Philly was more like, when you did Philly, you did the comedy club. Then they have like rooms. New York has comedy club, then they have rooms. Mm-hmm. Rooms is where they turn a nightclub into a comedy show where you go out there and you just curse and roast motherfuckers all day. It's like, it's a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. People don't survive in rooms. You'll survive in a comedy club. So when I started out, I was in a comedy club in Philly where, there are rules you have to follow. They didn't like new comedians going up there cussing, and then a lot of time they would hire the new guys to open up for the headliners they bring in town. And no headliner when you out there don't want to open an act out there trying to cuss and be more vulgar than he is. It's a headliner's job. It's his show. So, we'll go to New York and we'll do our thing. And New York was so tough that my closing joke was one of the hardest joke, right? So I'm not sure how I came up with this joke. I remember one Halloween, I was buying a costume and I bought this John Dukakis mask. Remember John Dukakis? He was running for president.
Ran for president, yeah.
Yeah, he had this funny looking side.
Yeah.
He had his face almost looked like Saddam Hussein type of.
Right, he had a big nose.
Big nose.
Right,
I had a John Dukakis mask, and I also saw this big fake white dick. It's a rubber dick, right? A fake rubber dick, but you just stuff like paper in it to make it look hard, right? So it's Halloween. I had this mask, Dukakis mask, and this fake dick sticking out of my pants, and I'm walking down South Street in Philly for Halloween. People just going crazy, laughing, taking pictures, right? They went nuts over this dick, right? And I'm like, damn, let me try this dick in my act, right? So for like 6 months, and this all happened prior to my audition for Def Jam. For 6 months, I'll perform, and this is how I close out my show. I said, before I leave, I'm sick and tired of everybody talking about all these diseases come from Africa. I said, Africa, we have one disease. It was called big dickness. And I got that motherfucker. And I pulled my pants and pulled this big dick out, crowd go crazy. Good night. Right? When I did my audition for Def Jam, I did it. The crowd went crazy. Bob Sumner loved it. He was a talent coordinator. And then boom, I got a date for Def Jam. I went to Def Jam, killed the show, right? Closed out this big dick. Crowd went nuts. I walk off stage, the dick is still hanging out, and I walk off, right? And then they realized that dick was too deaf for Def Jam.
Right. I was gonna say it's a little X-rated.
It was a little bit too much, and I wish the coordinator would have told me that, Mike. You know that shit's not gonna make the cut. I would have never did it because I was so funny, and I could have still survived the show. You know, my show was that good, and if my Def Jam would have came out in 1994, I would have probably been a superstar. I mean, because everybody that had a good set on Def Jam became an instant star. He instantly got an agent, got a manager.
Yeah.
He became a superstar. So when I put out that dick, you know, they couldn't edit it out. If I would have said, thank you, good night, tuck the dick back in, zip up my pants, it would probably be, they could have found a way to close it out, to edit it. But because I walk off with this dick hanging out, the editor's gonna do nothing with it. So because of that, and because when we did that show, Donnell Rawlings knew he was the weakest link on the show. He was the weakest guy on that 5 comedians that would tape that night. And because I pretty much eliminated myself, he got on his air because I pulled that dick out. And today he still thanked me. He said, Mike, thanks for pulling that dick out, motherfucker.
Thank you for the dick.
My dick helped this nigga's career. You better thank me, motherfucker. Thank me and my dick for helping you out, Donnell Rawlings. Because Dave Chappelle would have never met you if I didn't pull my dick out.